People always talk about loyalty like it's some magical thing. Work hard, stay committed, go the extra mile, and eventually someone notices. That's what my dad believed, for years. My dad is 40 and works in flooring, not the glamorous kind of job people imagine when they think about success. His days usually started before sunrise and ended with sore knees, aching shoulders, and hands covered in cuts and glue. But he never complained, because he cared. His boss, let's call him A, wasn't always just a boss. Years ago, they built the business together, not officially as equal owners, but close enough that everyone treated them like a team. A handled the management side, my dad handled everything else. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Customers loved him. If someone called needing flooring done properly, they asked for my dad. If someone had an impossible deadline, my dad figured it out. If someone changed their mind halfway through the job, my dad stayed late. If something went wrong, my dad fixed it. His reputation became the company's reputation. People trusted the business because they trusted him. He wasn't clocking in and out. He treated the company like it belonged to him. And honestly, everyone thought one day it would. A had even talked about eventually stepping down and leaving things to my dad. That's how important he was. Except there was one problem. My dad wasn't getting paid like someone important. He was getting paid barely above minimum wage for years. At first, he ignored it. You tell yourself things. Business is tough, things will improve, they appreciate me. But appreciation doesn't pay bills. Meanwhile, the work kept getting harder and the injuries piled up. Most people hear manual labor and think of sore muscles. Not my dad. He's had cuts, deep cuts, back injuries, burns. At one point, he literally cut his thumb off. Another time, he got electrocuted. And after everything, after years of loyalty, he finally asked for a raise. Not something ridiculous, not ownership, not luxury, just fair pay for the work he was already doing. A agreed. Yeah, of course, raise coming. Except nothing happened. Weeks passed, no raise. Dad asked again, A said yes again, still nothing. Months passed, same story. Eventually asking became awkward, then frustrating, then exhausting, because every conversation somehow turned into an argument. A started saying he couldn't afford it. Couldn't afford it. That became the excuse. Meanwhile, new upgrades at home, big house, nice cars, multiple work vans, constant spending, and my dad would come home exhausted after making the company money. All they. The math stopped making sense. It wasn't that A couldn't pay him, it was that he didn't want to. Because why pay more when your best employee keeps showing up anyway? That realization changed everything. For the first time, my dad stopped thinking like an employee. He started thinking like someone who didn't need permission anymore. Quietly, without drama, he started planning, talking with my mom, researching, getting things ready, building contacts, and eventually, he made a decision. He was done. Not angry, not emotional, just done. He handed in his 2 weeks' notice. Simple, professional, final. Apparently, A thought it was a bluff, because suddenly the man who couldn't afford a raise found money immediately. My dad got calls, messages, conversations, offers. Stay, we'll increase your pay, we'll work something out. Funny how impossible things become possible when someone leaves. But my dad didn't budge. Too late. He'd already made up his mind. If the only way to get respected was threatening to leave, then there wasn't much left to stay for. And honestly, watching all this happen was weird, because I'm only 15. You grow up thinking adults know what they're doing, then one day you realize adults make terrible decisions too. My mom and I got involved helping my dad launch his own business. I helped where I could, on school breaks and days off. I'm even planning to do work experience with him. I helped with social media too, started posting videos, showing jobs, advertising, getting attention. And little by little, people started calling. Then more people started calling. Then referrals started happening, then recommendations. Before long, the schedule started filling up. 1 week booked, then 2, then 3. 3 full weeks of work ahead. No giant company, no fancy office, just good work and people trusting the guy who actually cared. And suddenly, my dad wasn't surviving anymore. He was getting paid what he was worth, doing the same quality work, making customers happy, but this time for himself. That should have been the end of the story. But it gets better, because A still had a business to run, and now he had a problem. His best employee was gone, and replacing one person who basically carried operations isn't easy, especially when you've spent years underpaying them. That's when reality finally hit, and A had to start hiring. Not one replacement, not 2, 3. 3 people to cover what my dad used to do. And here's the funniest part. He had to pay all 3, the same amount he'd been paying my dad, each. Meaning instead of paying one experienced worker a raise, he ended up paying multiple salaries, just because he refused to value the person who already made his business successful. When my dad told me, I actually had to sit there and process it, because the whole situation felt ridiculous. 1 raise, that's all it would have taken. 1 decision. Instead, he lost his best employee, lost trust, and tripled the cost. Sometimes people think saving money means paying workers less. Turns out, sometimes paying less becomes the most expensive decision you can make. You'd think losing your best employee would make someone reflect. Maybe realize they made a mistake. Maybe think, yeah, I should have treated him better. Apparently not, because after my dad left, A acted like the business would just continue exactly the same. Same customers, same speed, same reputation, just swap one worker for another. Easy. Except people don't work like machine parts, especially not people like my dad. There's something nobody talks about enough. When someone stays somewhere for years, they don't just do tasks, they become systems. My dad wasn't just laying floors. He knew customers. He knew suppliers. He knew shortcuts that saved hours. He knew which materials actually lasted. He remembered people's houses, their dogs, their preferences. He'd walk into a job and immediately know what needed doing. That kind of knowledge doesn't show up on payroll spreadsheets. But the second that person leaves, you notice, fast. Apparently, the first week after my dad left was rough. Jobs started taking longer. Schedules got delayed. People had questions. Customers kept asking for him, and the answer became awkward. Oh, he doesn't work here anymore. I imagine hearing that enough times starts getting uncomfortable, because people weren't loyal to the logo, they were loyal to the person. And honestly, I think that surprised A. Not because my dad wasn't good, but because people in management sometimes assume workers are replaceable, that customers only care about price, that skill doesn't matter, until suddenly they find out skill matters a lot. Meanwhile, our house felt different. For years, my dad had come home stressed. You could tell, even if he never said anything. There's a difference between being tired from work and tired from feeling undervalued. Before, he'd come home frustrated. Small things bothered him. He'd complain less and go quiet more. Now, he started acting like himself again. It wasn't overnight, but gradually. He'd talk more, laugh more, make plans. And weirdly enough, he worked harder than before. Except now he had energy, because effort feels different when it benefits your family instead of someone who doesn't appreciate it. Running your own business sounds glamorous until you actually watch someone do it. My dad suddenly became the boss, the worker, the accountant, the scheduler, customer service, marketing, delivery, cleaner, problem solver, everything. And somehow he seemed happier, because every finished job actually meant something. No middleman,
No arguments, no waiting for someone else to decide his value. If a customer was happy, he saw the result directly. If he worked harder, he earned more. Simple. I started helping more too, mostly social media, which sounds small until you realize how weirdly powerful it is. My dad had spent years building a reputation in person. Now people could actually see the work. Videos, before and after shots, finished floors, quick clips, people sharing, people messaging, people tagging friends. I'm not saying I'm some marketing genius, but suddenly jobs weren't coming from one company anymore. They were coming straight to him. And once momentum starts, it builds. People trust people. One happy customer becomes two, two become five, five become referrals. Then suddenly your calendar starts looking full. 3 weeks booked became normal, then longer. And that's when I think reality really hit A. Because at first, maybe he thought, he'll come back. That's usually what happens. People leave, business gets difficult, they return. Except my dad didn't. He kept going. And every week he didn't come back, his new business became more real. Meanwhile, A's hiring situation got worse. Because remember, he hired 3 people. That sounds dramatic until you realize why. My dad used to do an insane amount of work. You don't replace that with one average employee. You divide the work. Except now you've got new problems. 3 schedules, 3 salaries, 3 people learning, 3 chances for mistakes, 3 people who don't know customers, 3 people who need managing, and suddenly the thing you were trying to save money on costs way more. The irony honestly writes itself. Refuse 1 raise, create 3 expenses. And here's the thing, I don't actually think A was evil. I think he got comfortable, too comfortable. Because when someone is reliable, people stop noticing. You assume they'll always be there, always say yes, always fix problems, always accept less. Until one day, they don't. I think that's what happened. My dad had become invisible, not because he wasn't important, but because he was too dependable. People started treating extraordinary effort like normal effort. And once that happens, it becomes impossible to feel appreciated. There's this weird idea that employees should be grateful to have jobs, but employers should be grateful too, because good workers aren't unlimited. People who care, really care, are rare. People who treat customers like their own family, rare. People who still work hard after years, rare. My dad gave that company years, and asking for fair pay wasn't betrayal. Leaving wasn't betrayal. Leaving after being ignored, that's consequences. The funniest part? Now, when people ask what my dad does, he doesn't say where he works anymore. He says, I run my own business. And every single time he says it, you can hear something in his voice. Not arrogance, not revenge, just pride. Like he finally realized something. He was never asking for too much. He was asking the wrong person. And maybe that's the whole lesson. Sometimes loyalty is good, but loyalty without respect turns into being taken for granted. And sometimes the scariest decision, walking away, ends up being the one that changes everything. But the story wasn't completely over yet, because a few weeks later, something happened that made this whole thing even more satisfying.
By this point, my dad had already moved on. That's important, because this isn't one of those stories where someone wins by making the other person fail. That wasn't the goal. The goal was simple. Work hard, get paid fairly, build something of his own. That's it. And honestly, that's probably why everything worked. He wasn't obsessed with revenge. He wasn't checking numbers, wasn't hoping A's business collapsed. He just focused forward. But life has a weird way of showing people consequences, because once enough time passed, word started getting around. Not gossip, just normal conversations. Customers talk, tradespeople talk, friends talk, and people started noticing something. Things weren't running the same. Jobs took longer, communication wasn't as smooth. People who used to specifically ask for my dad suddenly started finding out he worked independently. And once people discovered that, they started contacting him directly. Think about that for a second. Imagine spending years building a reputation for someone else, then finally realizing the reputation was yours all along. That must feel strange, like finding out the thing people valued wasn't the company name, it was you. One of the first moments where I noticed this was when a customer reached out. Apparently, they'd used the old company before. They found out my dad had left, and instead of staying with the business, they followed him. Not because of price, not because of discounts, because they trusted him. That happened more than once, and every time it happened, my dad acted surprised. I wasn't. I think he genuinely underestimated how much people respected him. That's another weird thing about hardworking people. They often assume everybody else works the same way, so they don't realize how unusual they are. To him, staying late was normal, doing extra was normal, fixing problems was normal. But customers notice, people remember effort. Slowly, the business kept growing. Nothing dramatic, no overnight millionaire moment, no expensive office, no flashy success montage, just consistent work, booked jobs, happy customers, repeat clients, steady income, the kind of success that actually lasts. And then something happened that made me laugh. One evening we were talking at home, nothing serious, just random conversation, and someone mentioned A. Apparently, things were still difficult, managing more people, higher costs, more complications. Again, I don't know all the details, but hearing it made me realize something. A didn't lose because my dad left. He lost because he forgot why my dad mattered. There's a difference. Businesses don't magically break when one employee leaves, but when you spend years depending on someone while pretending they're replaceable, eventually reality catches up. People always talk about business like numbers, revenue, costs, margins, but they forget relationships, trust, experience, reputation. You can't instantly buy those. My dad built those, and when he left, they left too. I asked him once if he regretted staying so long. His answer surprised me. He said no, not because he enjoyed being underpaid, but because those years taught him everything. How to deal with customers, how to solve problems, how to run jobs, how to build trust. Basically, he got paid in experience until he finally started getting paid properly. I thought that was a pretty good way to look at it, because resentment is exhausting. He could have stayed angry. Instead, he took everything he learned and used it. Now, when I help him with jobs or social media, I notice things. Customers know his name, people recommend him, people thank him, and I can tell he stands differently now. Not richer, not magically transformed, just lighter, like someone who finally stopped carrying something heavy. And maybe the weirdest part? This whole thing changed how I think about work. I'm only 15, but watching all this happen taught me something school never really explains. Working hard matters, but where you work hard matters too. Loyalty matters, but only if it goes both ways. Being good at what you do matters, but knowing your value matters too. Because if someone keeps promising to recognize your effort and never does, eventually you have to decide whether you keep waiting or build something yourself. My dad chose himself, and now every time I see another booked week on the calendar, every time another customer message comes in, every time someone says, "Your dad did an amazing job," I remember the raise that never happened. Funny, really. One raise. That's all A had to do. One conversation, one decision. Instead, he lost his best worker, paid 3 salaries, and accidentally helped create his own competition. Meanwhile, my dad got something way more valuable than a raise. He got ownership, freedom, respect, and honestly, that sounds like a much better deal. So if there's a lesson here, it's probably this. Never assume loyal people will stay forever. One day, they stop asking to be valued and start building something where they already are, and by the time you realize what you lost, they're already too busy succeeding to come back.